Hello everyone and welcome back to my Let's Play for Roller Coaster Tycoon 3 Platinum. This is part 11. After a long hiatus, I am finally back. The hiatus was caused to a multiple number of things. Summer holidays for the first week in July. And then I got really busy with work, being summer, like actual summer and everything, where everyone gets out of school, a lot of people get out of their jobs. We just got swamped at work. I got a lot more hours to work there, so I found it incredibly hard to try and find time to record anything for this. Oh god, there's a scary fucking image. Anyway, I found it really hard to find the time to record it, because I'd usually work till 10 at night a lot of the time, so I'd come home and be completely exhausted and just basically go to bed. And then after that it was university stuff again. There's literally like 2 weeks until university starts, so I had to get my living space figured out again. I had to order textbooks, I had to register for classes, do all that wonderful shit. And so finally I have a little bit of free time today, so I figured why not record another part. I might record 1 or 2 or 3. It depends on how much time I get, but anyway, without further ado, I guess let's load this career, and we are starting scenario 4, box office, with another fucking wonderful celebrity coming that we have to impress. It's just one mechanic I really did not like in the game at all. I feel like I know where they're going with it, but I feel like it just takes away from what the game is about. Like, I really don't give a shit about one guest, and basing like an entire scenario around them sometimes, it feels stupid to me. Like, one guest didn't like what your park was doing. Okay, one guest, not everyone is gonna like it. Not everyone likes theme parks, but like, you saw the fiasco with Clint Bushton last time. It's just shit like that. Like, I like this game for the most part, but I really don't like the inclusion of VIPs. Like, or if they did include them, like, have them maybe as kind of like an Easter egg, like maybe they'd come to your park after a certain amount of time or something like that, and you'd be like, oh cool, we got this guy because my park is doing awesome. But to make an entire scenario based around it, it's kind of stupid, I find. Okay, so box office. Look out on amusement parks. A movie studio has cast you in the role of superhero. Not for a movie, but for the daunting task of updating its aging backlot park without ruining its pedigree heritage. You're the producer, the director, and the star of the show. Can you deliver the blockbuster the studio wants? Gotta get a park rating of 300, and a VIP cameo star appears. And it's basically the same thing. And park rating 500, sustained for at least 2 months. We have a total monthly shop profit of $100, but it's $100, so hopefully it won't be as bad as last time. So the first time she arrives, she just has a below litter tolerance, which, as you can see, is a major problem in this park. What the fuck did they film in this? It's a movie studio. Has it been abandoned for like 30 years? I mean, Jesus, like, were they just having stars throwing up from nerves all over the place? Like, it's complete garbage. I don't understand how it got to this point, but anyway. And the second time she comes, she just doesn't want a breakdown tolerance. The rides can't break down. The first two, Apprentice and Entrepreneur, are fairly easy to get to. They're fairly quick. But it's this one, because she wants to visit one roller coaster with an excitement rating of at least 7. And if you haven't noticed, we don't start out with a whole shitload of cash. And to clean up this park, you're going to have to use about $1,500. So that's going to leave us with even less. So yes, unfortunately, this is another build-up park. and it can take a long time. This may be, again, another scenario that I completely cut to the end because it's going to take probably a year to build up enough money to build a roller coaster with Excitement 7. So let's get this thing started, I guess. Of course, the first thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to hire some handyman. Five or six should do it as long as you train them up and you give them patrol areas to patrol. They take care of the garbage with a lot less people. Oh, I also forgot to mention that the other reason there haven't been videos up is because I'm pretty fucking lazy. Unless you haven't figured that out yet. I'm not exactly, I'm a procrastinator. Do the littlest amount of work to get things done as possible. So, that's probably one of the big reasons why this video took so long. Hopefully I can get a more consistent schedule in the future, but again, university starts in 2 weeks, so I don't know how well that's going to go. I really don't think you need to watch people picking up puke and paper, so this will probably be a part that I'll cut through just until after they're done cleaning all this shit up. Like I said, you only need about five or six to really start cleaning the place up. They do a pretty good job of it. While we're here, I guess we might as well. Mind you, she doesn't even really need a patrol path because she just has a low litter tolerance, so we'll leave her go where she goes. Hopefully this whole park will be cleaned up. So anyway, cut the video and see you in a bit. Okay, so the VIP has arrived. She's sitting on, I think, the only ride in the entire park, which is the tram ride around the studio tour, basically. She looks really frickin' awkward and like a blocky. She's supposed to be some beautiful movie star, but she looks like she looks like she has some kind of disease. I mean, like even more so than the other people. I like that shirt is really fucking creepy. Like poorly rendered tits, the game is what this scenario should be called, because it's awful. The detail is not good. So she's just gonna run her ass around the park for a bit. She makes a lot of comments. Yes, the shark is made of rubber. No, we're keeping a live shark in the fucking whatever you want to call it. It's not even a pond. It's like a puddle in the ground. She's a pretty annoying one too. She wants to go on studio tour again, so she's just gonna wander her ass to the front of the line and keep. So like, there's not a whole lot to do in this scenario at first, like I said, because you just have to get the park cleaned up, and then you gotta wait for her to leave the first time, and then for the second time she comes. Okay. Ooh. She's mad at somebody. I hope it's not me. Look at her gaggle of like 5 fans following her out. She must be popular. So, okay, we've satisfied the VIP. So the next time we gotta get a park rating of at least 300, and it's pretty much there already. Oh well, it is there. We'll just give it some time, I guess. Sustain for at least 1 month. So you don't need much to get a park rating. We already almost have a park rating of 500. And then the only thing we need to do is make sure that a ride doesn't break down. We have a mechanic, and we need some monthly shop profit to pass that. So it's a fairly slow and boring scenario. It's not one of my favorites until we actually get to the end. toward the end of the park here. The end of the scenario. Clean that shit up. Oh, for God's sakes. Is that not your area, you piece of shit? Well, it is now. I really fucking hate trying to put patrols on this path, because you can't even see what the hell you're doing. Sweep that shit up. So again, we got an aquarium. Like, we're basically just waiting for the VIP to show up again. It's not the funnest of scenarios. It's like it's two of like the worst things combined. It's a fixer-up scenario, which I don't really like because it very severely limits what you can build in the park. And it's also a build-up scenario as well, and something I really also don't like. And it's a very heavy build-up scenario. You get very little money, and it takes a long-ass time to try and build up to that 7 excitement roller coaster. So, she comes again the 7th of May. So it's going to be almost an entire year until she comes. Or no, wait. 19th of July she comes. But again, we hopefully will have sustained the park rating for at least a month. We should. We're already at 619. There we go. So we passed the apprentice level, and in 1 month's time the VIP will arrive. 1 week's time. So I'll probably just stop it after she gets here. And then after she leaves for the 2nd time, in the next video we can work on the actual build-up of the park, the building of the shops. Because we've already reached a park rating of almost 700 already. And she's back. Woohoo. No one really cares. So how is everyone else's summer going? Doing anything spectacular? I didn't really do much. Got away for about a week. Jesus, she says way too much. Got away for about a week. And that was pretty much it for my summer. Did kind of a weekend trip into this city, as we call it, I guess, because it's the only city within like an hour. Did a weekend trip into there, stayed overnight. That was kind of fun. But yeah, that was pretty much my summer. A lot of working, a lot of... Oh, so I have a wonderful story to tell about work last night. Pretty freaking disgusting. So I work at a golf course in the clubhouse there. And I am predominantly on Thursdays, which is ladies' night, I guess, at the golf course, where it is kind of like it's a ladies' get-together kind of thing. There's specials on. It's cheaper for them than anybody else. And anyway, a week ago they had appetizer night. And they had chicken balls that, like just frozen chicken balls that they picked up from the grocery store. And I, of course, had to cook them and stuff like that. But anyway, they had about 20 left over in the package. So I said, "What do you want to do with it?" And they said, "Well, just leave it here. Maybe we'll have them again next week." So I put them in the freezer. But we have this one employee who, okay, we satisfied her. She really is not well liked by the other employees. She's very undermining. She's very, she likes to spread rumors. She likes to spread lies about the other employees. She really uses a lot of like dirty tactics to get more hours and more money than everybody else. And she's by no means successful. She's one of these people who never made it out of town when she graduated from high school. She's been here all her life. She's 45 years old, doesn't wear a bra, and has like tits sagging down to her knees, so that's always pleasant. But anyway, I'm assuming it was her because there's only her, me, and my friend working, and I assume my friend is probably smart enough not to take frozen chicken balls out of the freezer. So she did, and she just left them on top of the fridge. And apparently no one discovered them until a week and a half later, when yesterday, it was ladies' night again, I happened to notice the box, and I'm like, well, what is this doing out here? I cannot describe the smell. It must have been just sitting out there for at least 3 days. And it was the worst thing I've ever smelled in my life. Like, it was raw chicken that someone had left sitting out on a counter for 3 days. And worse is I took the bag of chicken balls out of the box just to see how bad they were, and I didn't realize there was a hole in the bag, and so like 2 just dropped out and splattered all over the floor like a bunch of turds, and it just made the smell so much worse. I spent probably 15 minutes like frickin' spraying soap on the floor, spraying everything that came into contact with these chicken balls. I grabbed 2 cans of Febreze and pretty much emptied half the cans in the little back room where we keep the fridge, but you could still smell it. I couldn't believe it, how someone could leave raw chicken out of a freezer for 3 days. To me, it just baffles me how someone can be that frickin' dumb. But apparently they can. So that was my lovely surprise last night, was cleaning up this frickin' mess. So yeah, just I guess a nice funny story to end this scenario. God, was it awful. But anyway, we satisfied her again, because she's not hard to satisfy the first 2 times. So now we've got that done. The park rating we've already got. So like I said, next video we will work on building up the park. The total monthly shop profit, we need to reach $100. Hopefully we can do that fairly quickly, and we can get into the Tycoon one. But this is the one that takes a lot of frickin' time to do, because I don't know, I don't even think you can take much of a loan, like $5,000 loan. So the most we could have right now would be around $7,500, which is nowhere close to a 7-point excitement coaster. Like, to get it to 7 excitement, it's got to be a pretty damn big coaster with a lot of pretty high thrills. The other thing that you may notice is that we don't have a ton of space in this park. Like I said, it has to do with a fixer-up park, which I really don't like. So the only areas we can really build in are here. I usually build a few thrill rides in here, just to kind of get a steady cash flow, kind of. And then over here in this area, this corner here, is where I usually like to build a roller coaster. But yeah, anyway, I guess we'll work on that next time, next video. It's good to be back, I guess. Finally found time to do this. And I'll see you next time, whenever that shall be. Hopefully it's quicker than this month hiatus. Yay.